So my project is called FinGeoRisk, and it's an actuarial like geospatial risk terminal that lets anyone search or click on any location on a world map. And once you like enter the location, it gives you like the total insured value, the annual premium, and the estimated max loss for that area. And it also gives you like the risk score of any like environmental like any environmental thing that can happen, like for like a flood or a wind or wildfire. Um, and it gives you like the live data, and it also has like an AI and it also has like an AI summary that explains why the like area has the risk that it has.
Okay, that makes sense. All right.
So my problem statement is, so insurance companies, they usually only look at like old and broad data, and they don't look at like individual places. And what they do is look at like a very large area, like a country or a state, for example. But like the actual risk can change from street to street, and like disasters happen every single day. So that leads to prices that don't actually match the risk that the property like has. And and what people do is they only check a couple tools that they need to make like a decision of the pricing. And so what um and the real world insights are like anyone who wants to buy a home or a business in an area, they usually don't like okay, like they usually don't um see all the other like aspects of what could happen, and like what would happen if the area were to meet like any disaster, and that would really affect their insurance plans. So like it's really important for people who want to buy a property to evaluate every possible thing that could happen. So if there were to be any like a fire or a flood in the area, then like anyone who wants to buy a property in the area should know like the risk that comes with it, and like how much they would lose or how much their insurance would cover.
Yeah,
So
transparency is most important, right?
what?
Transparency is most important, right?
Yeah, like everyone should be able to understand what they're getting into instead of being shocked laterwards when something does happen. So our solution, so what I did is I made this app where basically you can type in any address, and then it gives you the estimated loss, um, like the target annual premium, and it explains it all with an AI summary. And the users can also look at like okay like okay like the live risk hotspots, and then they have like an AI chatbot to ask any questions that they have to the like about the area.
All right, pause 1 second. What do you mean by live risk hotspot again? Is it like specifically these places are very dangerous, or is there like a whole map of like okay, the green areas
So
are better, the red
like
areas
as
are
you can
bad.
see here, it's just like hotspots of like the areas that are like at high risk, and then it
Okay.
also has like a live like thing where it shows you like what like if there's a fire happening in a certain area, like it
Why
shows
don't
you
you,
all of that as
Harini, why
well.
don't you just show me through the demonstration, all right? I think that's
Yeah. Okay. Here's a demonstration. Uh, yeah. So basically, for example, like I'll just type in an address. So it takes you to the address, and you can like zoom in or like choose wherever you want instead of just typing an address. And there's a full screen so you can look at it properly. So it takes you to the address, and then here it gives you like a little summary about like how much the property is valued at, and like the maximum loss that you would get if the property were damaged. And then here you can see like the risk hotspots. So these are like the areas where there's more risk. So you can just jump to them if you want. And then we have the recent searches for wherever you search, and you can just go back to them. And then here's like the target bracket and the estimated loss, so that you can see like if your property were damaged, how much of the value would you be losing, and like how much would the insurance cover. And then
Hmm.
here you can see like what disasters the area is more prone to. So this area, like it's more prone to wind damage and to flood risk. And for
Okay.
wildfires, it's not that prone to wildfires. And then this is the same thing, like it just gives you a little bar graph about it and how much the insurance would cover. And then and then here we have like the live um
The current things
monitor.
that are going on right
Yeah.
now, right? So
So
it's
we use like so it uses like USGS data to like to see what like earthquakes are there, um as well as like the NASA data for floods and wildfires. So like right now you can see how many active events are going on like all over the world.
cool. Okay. All
And
right.
then
There.
um there's also here you can like if people don't really understand like what each of these mean, like it just gives you like a definition of what they all are so that you can understand. Um
Okay.
and here's just like to help people understand how to use the app.
All right. What I'm
And
curious about here is like where exactly like these scores are coming from. Like what models did you use, and like how exactly it's working. Right. You said the live weather data from was from the USGS, right? So they use the
yeah.
API for that to communicate.
What?
The USGS API. Do you use that to get the live weather events?
Yeah.
That makes sense. But like, can
Yeah,
you
as well as
explain
like the
like
NASA data as well.
NASA data, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. But like, how are you calculating like for a given address? How do you get all this information, right? Like, what exactly are you using? Are you using multiple models? Like, how does that work
Yeah.
exactly? Can you explain that?
So we're using here you can see the models that we use. Just one second. So these are what all we're using for like to get like all this data. So there's like the NASA and then the USGS earthquake feed and then like the satellite imagery. And this gives us the data.
All
And
right.
then we have this chatbot. So for example, if I want to ask like uh like what is the
That's probably
maximum.
this is Gemini, right? And same thing with like the
Yeah,
text output.
yeah,
That makes sense. But those I'm more curious about like the numbers, right? Gemini is pretty clear, right? It's just Gemini. We're all
yeah,
familiar with it. But like, how do you get like okay for this house these are the numbers, right? Like those numbers are what matter and they need to be correct. Yeah, it says here, right? 717 sits in the moderate risk area. So this text itself must be Gemini written, but the numbers I
yeah,
think you have given
from
it to them,
Gemini.
right? So like
Yeah, like the numbers are as well are all from Gemini itself.
interesting. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. Okay, so you're just giving it an address and using that to make okay.
yeah. So then like the AI itself like
Hmm.
checks um
Checks
like all the numbers.
online and figures it
Yeah.
out. Okay. All right. Interesting. So okay, I want you to answer this here. Like, what is the possible risk with this current system? Where like, by risk, I mean like, what is the current shortcomings of this system?
The current shortcomings are like I think for the AI chatbot um like some of the questions it might not understand, which I've been working on to fix it, but like that's one of the main issues I think. Like when you're asking the AI chatbot any questions, that's one of the shortcomings that it might not understand it fully.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Have you heard of AI hallucination before, Harini?
No, I haven't.
All right. Basically, AI hallucination is when like it's basically people pleasing, but in like chatbots,
Mm.
like what ends up happening, right? Is like even if they chatbots don't give you the correct answer per se, they give you the answer that you think is the most correct. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
got
they
it.
will like if you have any biases in your that it notices, it will try to feed those biases. It will try to give you the answer that you want to hear, right?
Yeah.
For example, how will that work? That applies to any AI model, right? So how will that
Yeah.
apply here as a possible risk? Any guess?
Well, if we were to apply here, like for example, if you're trying to find out about how like risky it is to buy this area, like to buy like a property like in this area, then the AI chatbot might like undermine the actual risk of it, like because you want to buy the area. So
Mm-hmm.
that would be an issue.
That's a possibility, but
Yeah.
like I feel the prompt is rather strict for that to be the case. More likely problem there, right, Harini, will be something like, say he's looking up a certain area and he just can't find any information, right? Or the information is very like very suspicious, right? It's
Oh,
like
so it
it
would just
doesn't
make
make
up.
sense. He'll just make up
Yeah.
numbers. It just makes up,
Yeah.
right? So like usually like when you're dealing with the number, like again, this model is really good right now, but like we have
Mm-hmm.
usually what we do right with these sort of things is we add a bunch of safeguards and stuff, right? To make sure that like, hey, like just double check the numbers or like tell the
Yeah.
AI specifically like, hey, if you do not have this information, just tell us you don't have it. Don't make stuff up, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because and that makes sense because like like most of the addresses that like I've used on here like are more like known addresses or whatever. So if there's any addresses that like or any areas that are like not that well known or are kind of like are aren't that popular, then like they might not have that much information on it.
Exactly,
So
right.
that could
But that
yeah.
information might not be available online, right? Like
Yeah.
it feels like
So it
everything
wouldn't
is
be
available online these days, but like not
yeah.
everything is, right?
Yeah, not everything will be. Yeah, that
I
makes
just
sense.
that makes sense, right? All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Other than that, I think you've made a really good model here, right? Okay. Let's just can you scroll. You have a bit more of the presentation left with the future scope and stuff, right? Just finish up with that, and we'll call it a day.
Um, the future scope.
The impact and future scope, right?
What I wasn't like the template that I was given is just this.
Is just this? Okay, that's fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I don't.
And I'll ask you few more questions, and go back to the
Okay.
demonstration. All right, perfect. Yeah, sorry, they differ sometimes, right, between vendors. That's
Yeah.
weird. Okay. Yeah. So basically, these are the numbers that Gemini kind of gave you, right? The 14,000,
Yeah.
48%. Okay, that's fine. Uh, let's see. Risk vector breakdown. I didn't quite get what this was again. Can you explain this? Oh, the flood.
Is
Okay,
it,
flood.
yeah, it just tells you like what the area is
Um,
more prone to. So here the area would be most prone to like flood, and then it
is
gives you
this
like how much.
um, is this based on the UL? What do you call it? The NASA data and like the
Yeah,
USGS
yeah.
data? Interesting. Okay,
Like
so you can just
the
ask the API for this information.
yeah, like the numbers are based on like like everything from like the AI data and then all like the environmental data like the rest like the sorry the flood risk and the hurricane or like wildfire risk. Those are all based on like the NASA and the
NASA and that data.
USGS.
Got it.
Yeah.